Resident Evil 3 may not automatically come to mind when considering the classic entries in this series, so it wasn't as groundbreaking as the first or second games. Getting rid of the puzzles in favor of the bullet mess was much more action-oriented. However, he brought something memorable to the table: Nemesis. This concept started with Mr. X in Resident Evil 2, but has been expanded to create something truly terrifying: an immortal monster chasing players. Crash Bandicoot 2 has really improved what makes the first one so special, and this third game is more than that. In this respect, it looks like Resident Evil 3. What we found better was the time travel element that allowed developer Naughty Dog to play much more with level ideas, such as being chased by dinosaurs, fighting like zeppelins on a plane like World War II, and defeating medieval wizards. Time travel rarely makes sense in the media, but when it comes to levels of doing business, all that disbelief goes out the window to create something fun. Speaking of the Naughty Dog, Uncharted 3 is also an outstanding piece of work. Where the story matters is on the other side of the spectrum. Nathan's confrontation with his addiction to treasure hunting is a question we often think of during adventure movies and games like this. Uncharted 3 went for deep stuff. It wasn't as good overall as the second one like many other entries here, but it did connect us to this story. Deus Ex started as a PC-centric series, and has never been this big despite coming to consoles. That is until the reboot starts with Deus Ex: Human Revolution. At this point, Metal Gear Solid and Splinter Cell dominated the stealth genre on consoles. With this introduction, he added much more than standard stealth mechanics, such as branching paths and narratives that can be achieved by leveling up. Some tools make the game play literally differently, which makes the idea of replaying the game multiple times more engaging. We were almost putting Mass Effect 3 in this slot, but then we remembered the ending. Look, it was about the journey, and the better pound for pound in this trilogy overall. However, what got us to put Dragon Age Inquisition here is that it is a better example of a third game in the Best of Us series. The former was fine, but somewhat disastrous, and while the latter developed in some ways, it was traced backwards in other areas. This third one was a nice combination of both concepts. Okay, there's a little disclaimer in this sales pitch. In terms of editions, Peace Walker is the 12th game released, counting re-releases or phone-related stuff. However, there are 3 chapters in the Big Boss saga that include Snake Eater, Portable Ops, this, and the Phantom Pain. Be logical. Here's another thing that can catch someone off guard. This is basically Pokemon's meeting with Monster Hunter with Metal Gear Solid. This is a great combination for a portable adventure on PSP. Just to dispel argument, there were 2 mission packs released for the original game that took the game to London. We don't think the expansions should count as sequels, but thankfully we can talk about Grand Theft Auto 3 without too much restriction. Thanks to this game, the PS2 was originally sold as it was. Of course, it's one of many reasons, but it was still big. He created the open world sandbox, and many clones have emerged from it. Speaking of Grand Theft Auto 3 clones, Saints Row started just like that. It's a bad imitation. With this third entry, which brings back the bizarre nature of Grand Theft Auto, which the series forgot, it finally made its name 11. This was a parody of him and other video games. With an excellent soundtrack and lots of unforgettable moments, this might actually be the best Grand Theft Auto ever made. Despite the number, Kingdom Hearts 2 is the 3rd game in the series, thanks to the GBA prequel, Chain of Memories in between. Do you think this is confusing? Kingdom Hearts 3 is the 9th game. Understand? Name games aside, Kingdom Hearts 2 can be remembered not only for improving the gameplay of the original game, but because it took a step forward for itself. So he managed to move away from Disney to create his own legacy, and a confusing but fascinating legacy in it. Technically this also counts as a Grand Theft Auto type game, so maybe Saints Row the 3rd isn't the best. And to clarify, this is indeed the 3rd game before Rockstar took over. Capcom did Red Dead Revolver. Besides Western themes, this and the 2 Red Dead Redemption games have almost nothing in common narratively. However, they exist in the same series, so with this trick we can call Red Dead Redemption 2 the best PlayStation 2 ever made. Do we need to say more? This is the terrifying Red Dead Redemption 2. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the page.